So what have we got?
Don Quixote. I know just enough about him to
Get in trouble.
Rick, we might have the Holy Grail coins here.
I like that.
This is like the Holy Grail. It's almost like 1 in a million.
It's like the Hope Diamond.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I'm John. I'm a local bail bondsman. I had a guy skip out on me on a $50,000 bail, and I was trying to see what I can get out of this to pay the bond.
So he skipped on you, huh?
Yes, sir. No laughing matter.
Yeah, life is a bitch sometimes.
I decided to come to the pawn shop today to sell my rare 1861 double eagle $20 gold piece. I took this coin for collateral against the guy skipping court, and he did skip court. Now I got to pay 50,000 bucks, so I'm hoping it'll make a dent in the $50,000 that I owe on this bond.
So do you know much about the coin?
Not much. I thought it was pretty good condition, but I was hoping you could tell me.
Was this graded at one time, or?
No, I've never had it graded.
You mind if I pull this out of the plastic? Because it's not graded. Doesn't really matter pulling this one out.
Don't drop it.
No. Put down my little safety pad.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you.
How's he looking, son?
I mean, it's in pretty damn good shape. The U.S. Mint started making these coins in 1849, and they continued to make them for over 80 years. But there were design changes along the way, and this appears to be the original Liberty head. And it was a big deal to have one of these back then, because $20 was a ton of money. What I can tell you about this coin is it appears to be real. This is uncirculated, mint state. This is a very expensive coin. The reason this one is worth so much money is because this was a really low mintage year. There's 11 different grades of mint state, from MS60 to MS70. The difference between a 61 and a 63 is the difference between 10,000 and 40,000. There's also a variant of this coin that's worth right around $250,000 in this shape.
Really?
Rick, we might have the Holy Grail coins here.
I like that. I like that a lot.
There's a possibility. I'd like someone to look at it who just knows a little bit more than me.
Sure.
So do you mind hanging out for a little bit and I get somebody down here?
Sure.
Okay.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Be right back.
Being a bondsman is all about making cash money, man. I'm hoping this expert comes in, tells me this coin's worth a lot of money.
Okay, a $20 lib. When we had the 1849 gold rush, America had a substantial gold supply. They started issuing the $20 gold piece. Up till then, they only had the $10 gold piece, so that's why they call it a double eagle versus a eagle, which was a $10 gold piece. They made one pattern in 1849, the year of the gold rush, and that's sitting in the Smithsonian today, and basically priceless. And then in 1850, they started issuing a $20 gold piece, the Liberty. It was the highest denomination gold people had out there, $20. What are your questions or concerns about this coin that you would like me to evaluate?
I need to know the grade on it. And I know there's a variant of this year that's super rare and worth $250,000 in this shape. So take a look.
Okay. The variant is distinguishable by the back. It was a design which was not accepted, but some of them were issued as patterns. There's less of them, and that's what makes the coin rare.
Okay, so is this it?
We'll look on the reverse, and that's how you could tell with the tall letters and the shield variation and the larger wingspan. Unfortunately, you do not have here. I am sorry.
Okay. What grade do you think it is?
Let me take a good look at it and tell you.
It was a long shot that this was the $250,000 coin, but it's still rare and it's still valuable. But before I can make an offer, I still have to have its condition and grade determined. We could be talking thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars.
Looks very high grade off the cuff. Very, very minor scratches on the whole coin. Good body, very slight wear. This definitely is a MS63 or better coin, which would minimally be worth $40,000.
Okay, thanks a lot, Andrew. I really appreciate it.
I'm very happy. This coin's worth a lot of money.
So what do you want to do with it? Pawn it or sell it?
Sell it.
How much you want for it?
You heard the man, 40 grand.
40 grand is not going to happen. I'm thinking more like 30 grand. And that's cash.
Well, he said it was worth 40, and I definitely need the money. How about 35? So you know you're gonna make 5 grand off it.
I'm not necessarily going to make it 5 grand. I plan on making 5 grand. Plans don't always come out as planned. So how about 33?
34, you got a deal.
What do you think?
I'll go for it. What the hell?
Good
All
deal.
right, 34,000.
Fantastic.
All right, let's go write this thing up.
Very good. Just made $34,000. I'm very happy. I have to pay a $50,000 bond with it, but it's pretty good. It's better than I expected.
I'm in LA with Dan, and he's showing me his collection of Willy Wonka memorabilia, which is absolutely amazing. He's got Gene Wilder's hat, he's got Wonka bars, he's got the golden egg, a golden ticket, and what is that?
What would you want it to be?
Oh my God. Is it the everlasting Gobstopper?
Yeah,
That's the real deal?
I'm even getting chills holding it.
It's like the Hope Diamond.
Talk about being speechless.
Yeah, that's like the Holy Grail. When I was 7 years old, that's the one thing I remember was the everlasting Gobstopper. It just sounded like the most amazing thing in the world with all the different flavors, and it lasts forever.
Yes. Yeah, that was the centerpiece of the whole film.
So yeah, Slugworth came to Charlie and told him he'd give him a bunch of money if he stole the everlasting Gobstopper.
Yeah.
And at the end, Charlie turned around and just gave it back to Willy Wonka, and that's when Willy Wonka gave the factory.
Yes.
It's crazy, too, because the movie was a flop. And then the 80s came out and video came out. It just turned into, like, the greatest thing ever.
Like a cult classic. It's still popular to this day.
So how much you want for the Gobstopper?
Gosh. That is the centerpiece of the film, which if we sell that, that's definitely breaking up the aesthetics of the whole collection. So I'm gonna give you one price, and that's that. I gotta stick with $100,000 for the Gobstopper. It was your favorite film.
If you throw in a Wonka bar.
So that means that I'd literally be giving you
A Wonka bar.
a Wonka bar. And that's breaking up the set, though.
It's not really a set. They were just, they were just Wonka bars. I mean, they're like, but
I'll tell you what, I would give you one Wonka bar, and I'd give you the everlasting Gobstopper for $115,000.
But you can do it for $100,000.
No.
All right, so $105,000, and I get a Wonka bar.
I'm gonna miss that everlasting Gobstopper.
Sweet.
You got a deal.
It's like the fountain of youth. I'm 7 years old again. I mean, these are crazy pricey, but putting these things in the shop will bring people in my shop. They're in amazing condition. They have all the provenance in the world. They're 100% legit. They are wanted, and these collectors pay insane money.
All right, Rick, now that you've opened up your wallet, I've got this client that has a really, really cool Muhammad Ali piece, and if you have some time, I'll bring him in and you can check it out.
Hey, I got plenty of time. I don't want to go back to Vegas.
Let's do it.
Earlier, a guy brought in a straitjacket that he says belonged to Harry Houdini. And if he's right, that's incredible. But he doesn't have any paperwork, and I'm a little skeptical. So I invited my buddy Murray down to take a closer look.
Good to see you, all right?
Hey,
Rick.
Hey, man, how's
You
it
all right?
going?
I'm a magician. I travel the world doing various magic. I've been in magic over 25 years.
This is what I called you about. This is supposed to be Houdini's straitjacket.
Wow. So what's the history of it, just so we know a little bit on it?
The story is Theo gave this jacket to my grandfather. He was very good friends with Theo.
Okay, this makes sense. Theo, Houdini's brother, gave a lot of his stuff away. Houdini did hundreds and hundreds of straitjacket escapes. When he came to a town, he'd always do a straitjacket escape over a building. Generally, the newspaper's building of that city. That's how he got in the front of every newspaper, because he picked the building where the Times was, or the Chronicle. Everyone would come to see the spectacle, and then all of a sudden his show would be filled up for the whole week. That's how he drew people.
Okay.
What makes Harry Houdini so amazing is the fact that when he performed, it was a do-or-die situation. Either he would fall to his death or escape from a jacket. Now, he did escapes upside down. Now, it looked like it was harder. Well, ironically, when you're upside down, your torso stretches. When your torso stretches, it makes more room in the jacket.
Okay.
So something that looks death-defying actually helped him get out.
So what are the chances of this actually being Houdini's jacket?
What's interesting with all these jackets is that each jacket was individually made by hand. Each rivet has a certain space, and these rivets are never gonna match another jacket spacing. Now, a company that he always used a lot was a swan felt tent and awning company. And generally that stamp is on a jacket. Oh, well. Swan felt tent and awning company.
I thought for sure there was no way we could prove this was Houdini's, and now we have a positive clue.
This is a great start, but to prove it, I need to find a photograph, which is like a 1 in a million chance. But if this is really Houdini's jacket, this is like the holy grail, of Houdini. So I'll look at my resources, and I have a huge file of resources, and that'll let me know if I can authenticate this or not.
Okay, sounds good.
Great, thanks, guys.
Hey, you're back.
I am.
Finally.
Yeah, I know, sorry about that. So I found the only photographs of a jacket that's as close as we can get to this jacket. It's the exact same style, made by the same company. This is January 1st, 1915 in St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
So now I'm gonna do a little bit of forensic work. I'm gonna look at the stitching. I'm gonna count every single stitch. If there's one stitch less, it's not the jacket.
Well, this is a moment that I've been waiting on for a long time.
Let's check this thing out, let's see if this is the actual jacket. Unbelievable, look at this. This rivet here is flattened, so is this one. This rivet is raised, that's raised. You can see it in the photo, it's that clear as day. This is actually reflected off the camera, which a flat surface would. This is a great sign. This right here is this. That's identical. Granted, they could have put the same amount of rivets in jackets, fair enough. But you have 1 stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check this out, right there. Double stitch.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's almost like 1 in a million. You know what? This is Houdini's jacket from January 1st, 1915 in
That
St.
is
Louis.
absolutely awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Even in magic history, this is huge.
Now that we found out that it's real, I wish me and my cousins hadn't played so hard in it when we were 5 and 6 years old.
All right, so tell me, what did these things go for?
This jacket, I would estimate, would go anywhere between $34,000 and $42,000.
Okay. Thanks, man. You're the best.
Yeah, there you go. I've seen a few Houdini jackets, but it's always the jacket and then a different picture. This is the first time ever I've seen Harry Houdini in a jacket and then having the exact same jacket beside me.
All right, so how much do you want for it?
If I could get 40, I think we'd have a deal.
All right, I'm thinking 15. It's in really rough shape. It's had repairs on it. It could be years before I sell this thing.
I might go a little less than 40, maybe 35.
I'll tell you what, I'll go 25 grand. That is tops.
If you could come up to 30, then we've got a deal.
I'll go, 25 is it.
Well, this has been an awesome day. I think I'll keep it.
Okay.
Always here, man.
Awesome, thank you guys. Forget the numbers. The most exciting thing is to actually have the expert come in and find an actual photograph of Harry Houdini wearing my jacket. Absolutely blew me away, blew me away.
I can't believe this guy wouldn't budge on his price. Even though we were only 5 grand off on the price, $25,000 is the most I could offer. Damn, I really wanted this jacket. I almost feel like running after him in the parking lot right now. What do we got here?
I've got 4 volumes of history of Don Quixote.
Okay.
They were printed in 1731.
So did you ever read Don Quixote?
40, 50 years ago.
Do you remember any of it?
Not really.
Okay.
I decided to come into the pawn shop today to sell my collection of Don Quixote books. My dad was a big book collector, so these books were a part of his collection. I don't know how much these things are worth, but I'm hoping to actually start a college fund for our daughter.
This is cool. You know anything about them?
I don't really know much about them, except they're leather bound, and inside the front cover, it said it's a 4th edition printing from 1731.
Okay. It was written in the 1600s, and you read it today, there's still funny passages in it that will make you laugh. It's about Don Quixote, who thinks he's a valorous knight, but I think he cruises around on like a donkey, all right?
Don Quixote is a novel about an ordinary guy who decides to put on a suit of armor and go out looking for adventures. He's sort of a bumbling fool, always getting into trouble. Like a 16th century Chum.
Okay, well, they were obviously bought before 1962 at a bookstore in Salt Lake City. When you see an address without a zip code, that means it's like 1962 or before. That's when they came out with zip codes.
Wow, didn't know that.
And these are definitely old. I mean, this is hand-laid paper. You know, it's been a popular book for over 400 years.
Yes.
So these are sort of timeless like that, and that's why they are collectible. These books are hundreds of years old, leather-bound, and in pretty good condition. So I'm betting they're actually worth quite a bit. Here's my concerns. I just don't know enough about them. I can tell you that if these were the first editions from the 1600s written in Spanish, you would have like the Holy Grail, and they'd probably be worth, I have no idea. It's got to be over $1 million probably.
Wow.
And that's where my knowledge stops.
Okay.
So let me get someone down here who will know everything there is to know about these books.
Okay.
Let me go give her a phone call.
Thank you.
I've done really well with rare books in the past, and my instincts are telling me there's some big money here.
So what have we got?
Don Quixote, I know just enough about him to
Get in trouble.
The guys usually call me down here when they've got a rare book. They don't know a lot about it, and so I come down, take a look at it, get an idea of what it is.
So what do you know about him?
Well, Don Quixote is probably the best-selling work ever after the Bible. So 500 million copies of this book have sold, at least. The author of this book, Cervantes, he lived at about the same time as Shakespeare, and critics largely agree that it's the most important novel ever written. So this is a big deal. Now, the first edition in Spanish was printed in 1605 in Madrid, and then a man named Thomas Shelton, we see him here on the title page, he translated it for the first time, the two parts in 1620.
Really?
And this edition here is over 100 years after that.
Okay.
I see.
This is normally not a good thing. But you're lucky because Don Quixote is the most popular novel in human history. So later printings like this can still have some collectible value. And I'm looking at the bindings. They look to be the time period, which is always a bonus, though they are a little beat up. So for this 1731 edition, in this condition, all 4 volumes would probably retail at $1,500 to $1,800.
Really? Oh, okay. I'm disappointed. I thought they were more valuable. Harvard's probably going to be out of the question.
So what do you want for them, young lady?
I'm really not good at negotiating. And I trust you guys.
You know, she said they're worth $1,500 to $1,800 retail.
Okay.
Mind you, they are books. They do sit around a long time. They're not quick movers.
Okay.
I'm looking, you know, $1,000.
Really? I was thinking more like $1,250.
It kind of bugs me when a seller says they trust me to come up with a price, and then they try and get more out of me. $1,000 really is my best offer. I'm hoping to get $1,500 for them.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, it's a deal. $1,000.
Thank you.
I'll meet you right up front, and we'll do some paperwork.
Thank you.
In the end, I think we both made a deal that works, and I will definitely make some money.